You know, the Dallas Cowboys just got bounced out of the playoffs. And if you know me, you know that that little boy watching Tony Dorsett run up and down the field and Emmitt Smith become, well, the triplets. Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith. Become a dynasty of the 90s. And I really liked the Cowboys, and I they were my team. I got my man cave decorated in cowboy, silver and blue, and white, if you want to throw it in there. And I also like the Detroit Pistons. But as I've gotten older in age, they've become kind of lesser of the two evils. Not really into sports like that. I watch it, but it's either or. But is that who I am? Because once the Cowboys lost, I got all kind of phone calls and texts about how terrible they are, how they're overachievers and underachievers and this and that. And maybe in 1996, that would have bothered me. But now it bothers me because is that who I actually am? And it reminded me of the 1994 Lion King movie. Yes, the cartoon in 1994, when Rafiki, the baboon or whatever he is, goes to Simba and he says, "Who are you?" And he says to Simba, "Who are you?" And he really didn't know. He wasn't really the guy that was walking around with the meerkat and the big warthog or whatever, Pumbaa and Timon. That wasn't who he was. In unknown parts of the jungle eating bugs. And he had to look at the reflection in his mirror to figure out, who am I really? Because this isn't really me. So my whole point on this is not to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and them getting beat, but is that who people see me for, who I am, a Dallas Cowboy fan that just gets discombobulated when they lose? I just had to figure this out. And so I ask you, if there was no social media, no sports, no conversations about Antonio Brown, no debates about the GOAT, Jordan or LeBron, Brady or Montana, if there were no politics, you, my friend, ask yourself, like Simba, who are you? Like, tell me who you are. Without social media, when you're at home, and maybe your team has won the Super Bowl. Do you wait for baseball season? And now the Giants are going to fulfill myself. And then after the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Giants don't win, let's go into basketball and let's wait for our... And so the conversation goes on and on and on until... never? Because I'm not guaranteeing my life's fulfillment on a team or on social media or on social media likes or on my wife or my kids and my collection of Jordans. And I just want to ask you guys that in 2022, Simba had to look at himself. He had to look at the reflection in that pond and figure out who he was. And that's all I want to do. Just not who your team is, not who your political party is, not who you're married to, not that you got a doctorate degree, not that you got a master's degree, not that you have some college, not that you have all this knowledge of all the books and religions in the universe that you've studied. Not that, like, who are you without all of that stuff? Bring in your religious belief and figure out who you are. Find out who you are. If it's not a religious belief and it's relational, which is where I stand. Who are you? And what are you actually standing for? Because I'm not standing for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not standing for Jordans. And I'm not standing for the Detroit Pistons. Ask yourself who you are. Especially if you're a Christian. Ask yourself who you really are. Because if you're talking about a political party or your culture or your favorite sports team more than you're talking about Christ, ask yourself who you really are. And whatever your background is, for whatever you study, ask yourself who you really are, because is that taking the place of what your beliefs really are? I like it better when people call me and slam my Christianity than it is when they call me and slam the Dallas Cowboys. Because I don't love the Dallas Cowboys, but I love Christ. And this is probably a rant more or less for examining yourself as a Christian. But outside of that, who are you? Leave me a comment in the comment section. That's just my rant.